right, so we wanted to kind of like transition into some of our personal favorites. You had a couple that you wanted to throw out, Joe. What do you got for me?
So a couple personal favorites. Now, this one hit every time. So, Sex Panther, they done studies, work 60% of the time, all the time. That was from Paul Rudd from Anchorman, and I love that line so much.
I love that
And
line. It's
I'll
great.
I'll randomly just use that line, like, and Amanda will be like, seriously? Like I'll just randomly be like, she's like, you think this will work? Work 60% of the time, all the
All
time.
the time.
And she's just like, really? God, I hate you.
That's the perfect line because it's just as frustrating for anybody in real life as it is in the movie. Just the moment of, what did you just say?
What did you just?
What?
Did you just quote Anchorman?
So one that I like is Hey Pharma, what's that restaurant you like with all the shit on the walls? Oh, shenanigans!
Hey, 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 hey! Oh, come on, Andrew. That has you written all over.
You guys have a shenanigans?
Shenanigans!
I'll pistol whip the next guy who says it.
I'm gonna pistol whip the next one that says shenanigans.
Hey, farmer, what's that place you like with the stuff, fucking stuff on the wall and the beer? About shenanigans?
Every time. Every time.
Love that.
Throws me
Love that.
right into laughter. Oh, also, if you don't return my stapler, I'm gonna burn this
Oh
building to
God.
the ground. I'm gonna burn the building right to the
Hey,
ground.
I'm gonna burn this plate down. I threw the movie one more time. I'm just gonna burn this plate down.
Anything that Milton is saying in the entirety of Office Space. If I don't receive guacamole, I'm gonna put cyanide in the guacamole into the resort. I'm gonna kill everyone at the resort. The entire time, everything that the man says, but just that moment. If I don't get my stapler, I'm gonna burn the whole building to the ground.
But I didn't
Perfect.
get any cake yet. Milton, gotta pass the cake.
Yeah, Milton, you gotta pass it.
And
But I didn't get any cake last time, and I didn't get any cake, and I wanted some cake. And then just him looking at his hands. There's no cake. There's no cake. Perfectly written. Again, we have the embodiment, like the character, the way that that man is acting that role. A plus. A plus could not do better.
All right. I love this one. I've also used this one in my where I work, but I altered it a little bit. I'll do that one next. I was like, another glorious day in the coal. A day in the Marine Corps is a day on the farm. Every meal's a banquet, every paycheck a fortune. Said by Sergeant A. Pone from Aliens. A running theme here is I do like Aliens, by the way. I like the Alien franchise. That's a whole other probably episode two right there. But anyway, the way I word it differently for work is like another glorious day in the yard. A day in the yard is a day on the farm. Every meal ticket is a banquet. Every paycheck a fortune.
Perfect.
Well, I put that actually on a shirt because it is 33% different than the actual line, so I technically cannot have it copyright infringement. Because that is a law, by the way. If you change something by 33%, you can use it. So just FYI out there.
General PSA to all of our
PSA.
listeners. You could be using that, guys. You could be using that.
And another iconic line I love saying is, "Come on, you apes! You want to live forever?" Said by Lieutenant Rico on Starship Troopers, the 1997's movie. In the end, when they're doing the PSA at the end of the movies, like, trying to recruitment people, it's such an iconic line. And that is actually derived from real life because in World War One, there was, I forget the soldier's name, but I believe it was one of the Marine sergeants in the American Expeditionary Force who said, "Come on, you apes, you want to live forever,"
Wow.
and they, Robert Hyland, who made the book, put that in the book, and obviously Paul Verhoeven, director of the movie, put it in the movie. So
Called it. So that's a line that was so strong, and like literally that we see the iteration of that line again and again and again. Somebody said that stuck so hard in someone's mind. I think that's true of most of our iconic lines too. Somebody heard some little ghost of something and they were like, "Cool,
yeah,
I'm gonna keep that." That worked its way down into my soul.
And about the movie itself, and for me personally, with all like how CGI stuff, especially heavy CGI nowadays, is that movie's half CGI, half practical effects.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff still, in my opinion, still holds up today. And it's almost a 30-year-old movie. It'll be 30 years old in 2 years.
That's huge.
Okay. and because the CG, it just for whatever reason the CGI just more or less still works now, and the practical effects are just like they're there because they're physical, like when uh the roughneck sniper, the guy who plays as the priest from Walking Dead, the black guy.
Yes, Father
He
Gabriel.
Yes, Father Gabriel.
Getting that find his
He's
name.
in Starship Troopers. He's the
Yes,
sniper.
yes, yes, yes.
He gets up to the practical mannequin or the prop,
Hmm.
and that he's shooting a practical effect, and
Yes.
and it's stuff's gore and the guts, and it's it's cool, and it's like you don't see that a lot nowadays. Everything's all CGI this, CGI that.
Exactly.
It's
It's
like
all
because the movies now, especially the heavy sci-fi action movies, they go CJ is it's like, it's cheaper. No, this is cheaper now. It's not. It's just as expensive, if not
no.
more. Like sometimes going old school is better because it saves not time, but makes it more real, makes it more
Yes.
iconic.
You're making something authentic that like really
It's
people
effect
feel like they
exactly.
feel in a visceral way. It's the same way like again, they feel like they can touch it, they feel like they're interacting with it, they feel like it's a real thing. There's something about so one of the things that always comes to me is the thing. At the very end, we have the two of them sitting in the snow. I think we'll just sit here for a little
Yeah,
while.
great. You know what? And
And the fact that you can feel that entire movie the entire time, you feel like everything is real. It's happening in front of you. It's something that you could touch and taste. Means that even in that moment of stillness, it's not the most exciting thing that's happened on screen the entire time. We've seen flamethrowers, we've seen aliens, we've seen the whole dog transformation scene.
oh
You've
yeah,
had a ton of moments that have completely shaken you to the core, but there's something about these two men sitting there because everything has been so real. You really feel like you're about to lose them.
yeah.
There's something beautiful in that moment.
And the running theory with that scene is that uh McGrady is he
Mm-hmm.
when he sniffs what he thought was like alcohol or whatever it was gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's why he goes like that. And then when he hands it to um the I forget the black actor's
Yeah,
character's name, but
because you have McGrady and oh, it'll come to me
we'll
again.
call him Bill for sake of argument. He hands it to Bill, and Bill just chugs it.
Child,
Child, sorry, yeah,
got you.
thank Childs.
Exactly. Took me a
Childs just
minute.
chugs it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely the monster."
We're gonna have an entire
you know,
again. Make a
so
mental note, guys. We're gonna have an entire thing episode because I could spend probably 30 minutes just trying to figure out
again,
what
that is
happened in
the
that
running
last
theory
little
with
bit.
that ending scene is that it was gasoline that he sniffed,
But
and then
there's
handed
something
off.
about that
Yeah,
line too, as you're listening to him. It's just we're just gonna sit here for a little while.
yeah.
There's something about the resignation, the quietness of that. Like,
Oh,
fine,
oh yeah,
if what I need to do is die out here with you in the snow, then that's how it's gonna go.
yeah.
Beautifully done.
Mm.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, I saw the prequel 2011 or yeah 2011
Mm-hmm.
the thing, which same name but it is a prequel.
Yes,
It
for
just,
sure.
again, it's heavy CGI. It was okay. It showed you the how it started basically,
Yeah.
but it just it didn't hit the same as John Carpenter's The Thing,
Again,
so
there's something about
which
like
again is derived from a 1950s movie of the same, or is he the same name, or I forget the other name it could have been, but it just again, you'd be surprised how many movies that we know as iconic in these iconic lines movie that are remakes of fun ones that have happened in the 1940s or 50s or 60s.
exactly. It's
You
one of those
know,
ideas that there's only essentially seven human stories that we're telling again and again and again. So it's one of those things. One of the things that makes something iconic, one of the things that makes these movies stick out is because someone found a specific turn of phrase. They found one little bit that really sticks out to you. There's something about the way that this one person phrased things. They capture an idea that is eternal
mm.
in words that are connected to the time or just the specific story that you're telling me. That's one of the magic things that I find in a script is when you have taken something that is a concept in my head or my heart, something that I have felt a million times and never found the words for, and you've translated it into something that I can use, something that
Mm.
comes to me again and again. So, one for me is The Lord of the Rings. I wish the ring had never come to me. So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
It
It's
is an
perfectly
iconic
done.
line, and it can be almost used for almost anything, really.
Yes,
You switch out the ring with
exactly.
something else, like I wish such and such shouldn't happen to me, and then
Right.
or I didn't get this burden or whatever, and then you can use that line in the same kind of context, like, well, that shapes your character.
Exactly. It
It
connects to that
makes
feeling.
you you. You
Yes,
know.
it connects to that feeling in the human spirit of of suffering and pain, and does this have meaning, does this have value? And yes, it does, because someone else can help illuminate for you the ways that it can do for you, or the things that it can do for you. That's one of the things that J.R.R. Tolkien did with the original books, and then Peter Jackson again translates into the movies, and
Yeah.
we see again and again. So that one line encapsulates that feeling of, yes, there is meaning in this human condition. That's one of the things I'm trying to communicate to you in this story.
Mm.
There is meaning and value in this human condition if you are willing to look for it, if you are willing to fight for it.
Mm.
And a really good line, I think it does that. It transcends just the movie that it's in or the story that it's telling, and it tells you something about the human spirit. It tells you something about our fellow man. It tells you something about how we move through existence, and really gives you something that you can base yourself off of. That's a line I can go back to again and again. It resonates for me, numerous circumstances, numerous places, but again, it feels strong every time. It counts
Yeah,
for me
it's
every
like
time.
I can watch and the thing what makes those movies so popular is that there's no over the top violence per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary violence, obviously chopping an orc, or stabbing an orc, or whatever, arrow hit or whatever. There's no sex scenes or like that, like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no cursing or anything. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the movie, the story is what
Yes.
makes it worthwhile to watch or read, depending on
Mm-hmm.
your take on it. And you know, I remember watching those movies twice with my well, he's friends with these two also, Tim and Dusty Fawcett. They're my brothers. Like I grew
Mm-hmm.
up with them. I remember going to the movies and watching them with them twice, both times. It was great. It's like these movies are so great, and then watching the Hobbit movies later on,
Oh,
they like
so wildly different.
they are, and again using the whole heavy CGI thing, Peter Jackson kind of like wanted to save time, I guess, and it's kind of loosely money
I
with
made
not
this
having
time.
practical effect actors with prosthetics on and shit. Um, it just again movies hit a little differently, or they were
Mm-hmm.
just taking a different viewpoint per se, or different context of what with the Hobbit movies. Did they have to be three movies? No, they could have been done in two movies called Desolation of Smog, where it ends where they come across just about to enter the mountain. That's where they stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
And you
and
couldn't.
then the last movie being the Battle of the Five Armies is then where they fight Smog in the beginning, and then obviously the ending is the third movie where Dan and
Yeah,
Gandalf.
and would have
But
been fine.
but again, it was all about this.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But
absolutely.
but
That
anyway.
happens all the time.
But I got another line
Oh,
that's kind of deep from
oh,
the Star Wars realm.
okay.
Was when Obi-Wan's talking to Luke and
Uh,
says, "Many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our point of view. Highlights of an idea that truth is not always absolute and can be interpreted differently depending on one's perspective,
mm.
experience, and belief."
Yeah.
Was it from
That was
Empire or was it from
Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
These
okay, yeah. When he's
after Yoda disappears and he finds out
it's
that
okay.
Vader was
I'm
his
sorry.
father.
You're right. You're right. Yep. I should remember that because Return of the Jedi is one of my favorite original trilogy movies. Um,
Star Wars is one too where we have a lot of philosophy. Like
mm,
people, when you look at those movies, you have the convergence of religion and philosophy and science, and a lot of the lines reflect that. Like you could take it down to the simple ones, like do or do not, there is no try, all the way to something like that where we have moral relativism. Essentially, is what we're looking at.
yeah. No, I definitely can see that, and it really does come down to like as you said, more relevance, all that, and it's the hero's journey, be it, or hero or heroine, depending on
Hmm.
what story it is. But um, Luke went through his trials. He lost his mentor, even though again it was only for a few days. He was still considered him a mentor. That's the biggest anti Star Wars thing. Was like, oh, we only knew him for a few days. I'm like, yeah, but he hit him with all that knowledge and all that so quickly, and it just resonated with him. So it meant a lot to him, even though he was only there for a few days with him.
Right.
And like, and then the 3 year gap with Empire Strikes Back. He's a rebel commander. He's dabbled a couple things with force training and all that. and then he loses to Vader by losing badly, but losing his
Yes.
hand and getting his
Wildly,
ass handed
right.
to him. Because he thought, oh, I can handle Vader. I can handle Darth Vader. Like, no, you can't, man. He's killed hundreds of Jedi personally
This is
and
not
has
the
killed countless regular people with a whim of command or in person, you know? So, no, you're going up against a Sith Lord, okay? And then in the end, he is leaning towards the dark side because he's wearing all black, and the symbolism, because in the beginning, he is all black, and the inner part is all white. So
Yes.
and when he's fighting the Emperor, or he's getting electrocuted by the Emperor, rather, that white flap opens up, and it shows that he still has hope and light in him, just like his father.
Yes.
And you can't really distinguish that, from Luke, because he tried saving his father, and he does, obviously, and then the Emperor then does his final, zapping on him, and Vader sees that. He's like, what's happening? My son's being killed by the Emperor. If he goes any further, he's going to die. So that's when he says, I have to do something. He picks him up and literally sacrifices himself and throws him over the railing, and kills him, and saves his son, and then, of course, he gets dragged away to the shuttle and all that, and he takes off his helmet and he says his iconic line and all that, and on a side note, that those blaster fires you hear in the background, there are no rebels on the Death Star 2. No, those are stormtroopers fighting to get themselves onto an escape pod and or shuttle, because that's all man's for themselves. They know the station's gonna go boom boom. So yeah, those blaster shots you hear in the background, those are guys trying to get off the goddamn thing. So I didn't realize that until many years later. So, but yeah,
eye-opening. I just found that out now.
This is new information.
Yeah, so
I never put that together.
Yeah, no,
Right.
It puts it in different context,
Thank you.
So, but yeah.
But let's. What other lines we got that are personal favorites to us? Because if we're going like comedy, I got a good one.
Okay, I was gonna say, so like for me, and like again, I don't know if this is gonna hit with you guys the same way, but on October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd. And then on Wednesdays, we were pink.
Mean Girls?
Mean Girl. And let me tell you, there's an entire mini segment of people that are going to hear that and go, absolutely, on Wednesdays we wear pink, because those are some iconic lines, guys. All right, what funny one do you have for me, Joe?
So this goes back to Family Vacation. Sorry, Mr. Gristle. The park is closed. The moose out front should have told you.
Yeah, that one definitely works. Ooh. See, and I rarely pick the funny. For me, they're usually a little heavier. Do you have anything that's like really comedic?
Not my personal favorites.
Right?
But,
You kind of
but
drifted.
actually, I should have picked one of the ones from Super Troopers. It's like, okay, you boys want to go to Mexico? Love that one. Love it.
And not to go back to Anchorman, but I love the line after like the fight that they had. Like that escalated quickly.
Oh God.
I do like that escalated quickly. That one's always worked.
That escalated quickly.
I mean, that whole scene had so many lines, like, because then you had like Rick talking about like I love lamp and
there's a few from that one.
And the one where Steve Carell just comes out and goes, "Bears could spell the menstruation. I'd die laughing every time." It's just so random, but it
is so random, and it comes into play later on.
Yeah, right. It ties back around. I will give. We have so much more room for activities.
Wow, Step Brothers.
We have so much more room for activities, guys.
The first thing comes to your mind: Velociraptors.
I'm gonna throw out who you calling scruffy looking. And this one, I don't know if everyone's going to get, because not only do you have to make it through the movie, you have to make it to the deleted scene, or like the last little end credit bit, but where's my goddamn shoe?
That I don't.
Pacific Rim, ladies.
Oh God!
Rim.
Yes.
Ron Perlman has
Yes.
been eaten by a kaiju. He's been
Oh.
thrown back up.
Yes.
Where's
I-
my goddamn shoe? Fantastic fucking line.
No.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my dad on that one. It's one of his favorites. He still quotes that to me now when he can't find his shoes. Where's my goddamn shoe?
shoes.
And then this is one that comes from my little childhood. Graboids. We'll call them graboids.
Oh my God! Oh, grab tremors. Oh, but side note. Apparently, Kevin Bacon has a either miniseries or a series about to happen on Netflix. That is a absolute direct sequel from the first one.
100%.
Completely foregoing the sequels we all love.
Because the numerous sequels that came off of Tremors.
Oh yeah, no. I love Burt Gummer. Burt Gummer is my spirit animal, spirit person. He is me personified. If I had the money to buy all those guns.
That scene, fantastic, absolutely amazing. But yes, so those are I'm gonna throw those on there just because I like them so much. I can't help it.
But let's see.
Now go back to Marvel. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
One line that always hits me, and I always like. It's like a little chuckle, but on your left.
On your left. Fantastic. Because the last time, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
On your left.
On your left.
I love Anthony Mackie and the fact that he's just sitting there yelling that. I chuckle every time. Don't you say don't say it.
Fantastic. It is so good.
The food's so much better.
All right. So I have a couple more from movies. I have a couple more from my TV shows, but like for the most part, we've done some of my favorites right now. I've got my sentimental. So this is again one that I don't think, if I had to guess, I don't think you guys are gonna know it. The Way We Were. Your girl is lovely, Hubble. Absolutely fantastic line. One of the ones that devastates me and brings me to my knees every single time. So sweet. I don't think that there's a line in movies that encapsulates heartbreak quite like that one does for me. And then I'm also going to throw out, again, in my strange little off-brand romantic, In Another Life When We Were Both Cats from Vanilla Sky. This is how we know we've gone very cult classic, because I've managed to find movies that not everyone knows. But those are two.
I know of Vanilla Sky. I never actually watched it, so.
There's something great, like Penelope Cruz, again, is like you're describing that idea of like, I love you enough, but somehow in this life it's never going to work. So maybe I'll find you again in another life when we are both cats. And everything will be simpler and we'll find each other. So those two are going to be like my little personal favorites that, again, come from a strange and small enough place that I don't know if everyone is going to get them. But those are some personal favorites of mine.
This one is it's kind of a heavy hitting. It's also correlates to like real life and history in a way. It's from one of my favorite Japanese animes. It's part of the genre mecha. So so it's from Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. It's the movie attached to the series Gundam Wing, and it's said by Marimea Kusanada. She's the daughter of the late Trace Kusanada, who is one of the main faction leaders. She says, history is much like an endless waltz. The three beats of war, peace, and revolution continue on forever. And her lines are not wrong. It's all because if you look at the context, sometimes war lasts a year, several years, a decade or more, and then you have peace that can, again, lasts a decade, a couple years or whatever, and then you have revolution. Again, that can happen for years on end until you finally get your resolution. And then it's just how long does each part last?
Right.
You know, so we've had eras, we had war after war after war, maybe not necessarily here, but like across the world, like this, you know, part of the world hates this part and they're always fighting. And then we have relative peace for, let's say, a couple decades or more, longer. And then we have a revolution that then goes into an actual war. And so it's just like, it resonates with me because it is so true to real life. Even though it's from a Japanese cartoon,
right?
You know, it still, it has a point. And the funny thing about, my friend Dave pointed this out to me, like every Japanese anime has a theme behind it.
Yes.
It's like take your Pokemon or take your, you know, as I said, Gundam Wing. Almost all,
like we can mess with Naruto, whatever you want.
Shows are all anti-war because
Yes.
they show the horror. Man, they are with giant robots, but they show you some of the main characters get killed off because they don't serve the point the plot anymore. But shows you like the heavy hitting. Like I'm currently watching one of the ones I love watching, and seeing the main character lose his best friend, and then seeing the other main character lose his best friend, his other best friend is like okay, so the two main characters in the show on the opposite sides lost their best friends. How do they handle that?
Right.
It's like, and now I'm at the point with the show where they've reconciled. Say, okay, I didn't want to kill him, and like, yeah, I didn't want to kill your friend either, but he was an enemy at the time, and the
Yeah.
happenstances be what they were. They want to end the war, and it's just like it just hits. It's like every show that they do over there has a point, like either because right now they have a population crisis. Okay, they actually have an anime. I forget the show's name, but they have a show that centers on, yeah, no, date, have start a family. It's like it's okay to do this. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
And they have a show where it's like about cooking. It's like, oh yeah, let's cook things. They actually have a show called based centrally around dungeons, like Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
but it's set around cooking. You're in a dungeon, you're trapped, and you got to cook.
Yeah.
They got things like that. There's a whole slew of things that have all messages behind them.
Right.
There's one called Doctor Stone where everyone gets frozen in stone. And then all of a sudden, the main character gets unfrozen from the plight, and slowly but surely, all the people in the world start getting unfrozen in this paralysis, and they find the bad people in the world, like this, like like the leaders that were bad when they were alive and kicking. It's like, yeah, we don't need you in the new world, so we're just gonna just knock your statue over and then shatter. And then obviously the show goes on. But when my friend brought this up to me, is like these shows have meaning behind them, and it's really funny. I didn't realize that. Now, obviously, I knew about the anti-war thing with the Gundam shows, but it's like it's just war's hell, and it affects everyone that you don't realize. It affects a lot of different people. People fighting it, people not fighting it, people on the sidelines. It's just
It's that
it goes a long
fundamental
way.
messaging in a show that you don't necessarily expect it from. Like, again, as you're
Yeah.
reading this quote to me, and as I'm hearing like the three states again, like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show, but I listen to that and I go, no, there is a truth about human nature in there, and that we have war, peace, and rebellion. Like, that is it.
Yeah.
Those are the states that, and I can trace it almost through any civilization, any time period,
Yeah.
and find those same patterns. So there's something in that simple line that really encapsulates a truth about us, and that's a genre where I think, again, like, a lot of people don't expect to see it.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention, and those are stories that I enjoy as well, like there's a lot of places in there that I've explored.
Yeah.
And I think that they're telling like a more, like, if I look at like Titan, like there's certain things there that I think that they kind of like connect in a deeper way. Those simple lines are really telling you something fundamental. Somebody has encapsulated something or condensed something down to a truth that is universal. It goes so far beyond just the story of the characters that I'm talking to you about right now. They are telling you something about the way that I perceive the world and the truth in which I live. I think that counts. That's so valuable.
Yeah. Stuff like lines like that go
Right?
a long way because you got to really think about it. Like,
Yeah, that one's
like, what is she trying to say, or why is said person saying this? Because
Yes.
it is true to a lot of extent.
Yeah, even as you're saying it, it hits in my chest. Like, I haven't even watched the show, and I go, "Oh, cool, that's true."
People
I hear it.
like, I wouldn't say
I hear it.
scoff at it, but people dismiss it because, oh, it's a cartoon. I'm like,
Yes.
it's a cartoon, but it's a medium to tell you about something.
Yes.
Because I'm like kids in our generation, like they went to Iraq war. It's like people leaving college, like, or leaving high school. Like my brother wanted to not. Like, he only wanted to become a tanker, he could drive a tank and all that, but circumstances being as they were, he couldn't. So when 9/11 happened and all that, my mom was thrilled that he was not in the army.
Right.
So otherwise he would have sent over to Iraq. Or
exactly, we've reached a point in that three-person cycle or that three-stage cycle where I am afraid of you being involved in.
Exactly.
We are not in the stage of peace. I cannot send you there.
Right now, I would say we are in a state of war right now. So, and that war is going on for quite some time.
We have a ways to go.
But yeah,
Yeah, there's something really powerful in that. I can see like things like that when they move again so much further beyond. I think that that's one of the things that takes a line from something that personally resonates into something that's iconic. Now, not enough people are going to experience that one to be able to do the same, but there is something universal in that truth that I think that if you could quote it to almost anyone, there's something that they could hear it and think that it went so far beyond the source material. They would assume that it came from a great piece of literature or something like that because the truth in it is so understandable. It is so undeniably true that they would assume it had to come from a greater source as opposed to acknowledging the value in the source that it comes from because of the truth it communicates.
Yeah, like like with Lord of the Rings, like
Yes.
or the lines from Lord of the Rings. There's so many can actually correlate to real life.
Yeah, you have to remember that
so-
he's telling that story because he's trying to encapsulate the horrors of World War One, and he's trying to give his
Oh,
son
yeah.
a basis of how to understand. And as the world continues to shift to that world, like it's one of those things. We tell these stories, all of these lines, they came from someone that was trying to communicate a human truth, something that they felt and knew for themselves, something that hurt them or that they loved or that made them happy, whatever it was. We're just trying to give that to each other in the stories that we tell. We're just trying to pass on our own experiences and help other people not feel quite as alone, help them understand and feel seen. And that's what the best lines do. They transcend the person saying them or the way they're being said. Sometimes they tie you back to that original material, but because there's so much more than that, they carry you through life experiences. You can pull them again and again and again. You can find strength in them or value in them, even in places where maybe the person that originally said them or wrote them didn't even intend for you to, but they're so good that they count no matter what.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
I know, I can't help it. All right, so back to
Okay, anyway.
individual lines. Joe, what you got for me?
Well, this. I'm gonna go to Gladiator on this one.
Oh,
I don't know what he's going for.
I don't know if you do. Because I feel like this episode's been going pretty well. And
Okay. All right.
Are you not entertained?
Ah,
Are you not entertained?
That is a great one too. Yes. Yes. I was not. I was expecting the other iconic line, but that one works too.
That is
definitely
the next one I have up here. My name is Marcus Decimus
actually
Meridius, commander of
Come
the
on.
armies
Give
of
it.
the North.
get loud.
You want to take it over?
Come on. All right, let's see. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant of the true emperor of Marcus Aurelius, father of a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
That is so deep.
Beautifully
the fact
done.
that he,
Great.
like, the end of that.
The true
vengeance.
emperor.
The look on his face, too, and you're
Joaquin
watching.
Phoenix, he's like, fuck.
Yes, you're watching
He's like, I
Joaquin
fucking
Phoenix
died.
Yeah,
catch it in the
and he-
chest.
and he's
Beautiful
sitting there like,
line.
I'm fucked.
But yeah, you're like,
There's
You're
no
fucked.
walking away from
no.
Just
You
just
had
the
to
full on
cheat.
panic.
You
of
had to
shit.
cheat the motherfucker.
That-
You
Yeah.
stab him in the side like a little bitch.
And
Yeah.
I will have my vengeance. Which my name is Inigo Montoya,
Ah,
who killed my father.
yes.
Prepared to die.
Yeah, that's
Beautifully done.
If
that
we're
word.
going on
I
that,
don't think you know the meaning.
You keep saying that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Inconceivable. You keep saying that. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Another epic line.
Mhm.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want.
Oh, yes.
But I,
I love it.
But I do have a set of skills.
yeah. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But I do have a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare to people like you. Good luck.
So
Nick.
good. So
Yes.
good. There's something
I love
about
that
it.
first
It is
movie. It's
fantastic.
so great.
And it's so dead, but like there's something about the delivery of it too, where it's just like, cool, let me just explain how badly you fucked up.
Yeah.
And you can't fix it now.
Oh,
I
no.
just want you to know you fucked up. It's gonna go down like this. Beautifully done. Liam Neeson has an amazing career, hugely diverse, and still that's one that I go, oh, okay, cool. That's one of the ones that makes
Yeah.
your entire career. All right, I'm down to like my last few.
Yeah, I only have a few left.
And I was gonna say some of mine are like I've got some TV honorable mentions, guys. I've got some things that come up from there that I absolutely love. So I'm gonna throw out from Star Trek. Our mission is to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Classic. Can't
Because
go wrong
that's
with
it.
that. Can't go wrong with
Um,
that. Ooh, yeah, that's right. I have one from that too.
I do have I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying. And then we're gonna switch all the way. So I'm gonna go all to my TV shows. Now, these I start to get a little bit more particular because I know that not everyone watches the way that I watch, but this is a big one. And if these are lines that if you've seen the thing, they're going to hit you the way that I hit you.
Mm.
If you haven't seen the thing, it might not matter to you, but we're going to start with this one. I am a leaf on the wind. Watch me soar. And that's going to be from Firefly. And you will never do better than Wash. And especially when you get to Serenity. Because I don't know if a line to this day, even as I'm saying it now, I can feel it in my chest, but there is something so beautiful. I am a leaf on the wind. Watch me soar.
Sort of fun fact.
Okay.
But also kind of like
How much with Firefly
a
is fun.
jab fact here too. Josh Whedon, who made Firefly.
Yes.
Okay. Since Fox canceled, sadly, Firefly as a series, he made because the premise of Serenity was supposed to be the storyline of season 2.
Our conclusion, because they did not give it.
Exactly. Now,
so side note, you can hear all the scrabbling upstairs. That's the dogs. I figured I would let everyone know that that's the chaos that we're currently experiencing. But yes.
But him killing Wash, was actually a fuck you to Fox. So if they ever did decide to renew the show under their terms, or like, yeah, no, actually you can't because I killed Wash and all that.
Right? We would need Alan.
But on another side, Disney owns Fox now, and they are going to reboot Firefly, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yes, we could do an entire episode. We're gonna do an entire episode about Firefly at one point because that is one of the greatest could have beens that I think has ever been.
Yes.
But it's one of those things that I don't know if you could ever recapture that magic. But even now, like I said, going through and like seeing that line. So I got to meet Alan Silvestri at Comic-Con 6 or 7 years ago, and that was still I got to meet him and Jewel Sati, who plays Kaylee.
Okay.
Fantastic. I absolutely loved meeting both of them. They spoke at a panel at Comic-Con, and that was one of the lines, like that was one of the shows that both struck them the strongest out of everything that they've ever done. And I really don't know if you could ever do another version because you have the combination of not only the way that it was written, the director, the people that were starring in it. That was lightning in a bottle.
Now, again, I know there's controversy with Joss Whedon and how he was with his previous shows and all that, but again, with the writing, when it comes down to the brass tacks,
yes,
the writing is what really makes or breaks a show and or movie. Because if the writing is not there, it won't work. You can have the best actors, the best actresses in the world.
And
you have the awesomest CGI. I know I said awesomest. The most awesome CGI in the world. But if the writing is not there,
right, it will fall apart every time. I'm going to go to the shit town where I'm a hero. When he's talking about Janestown, I want to go to the little podunk town where I'm a hero. Like, there's so many moments in that show that are fantastic, but that's one that always sticks with me. So again, TV show lines, and this is a little bit more modern. I just finished watching like the conclusion of this show, but Yellowstone. Beth,
I gotta watch that show. There's so many iconic snippets I've seen,
but I haven't.
I have to watch it all the way through, so.
There are numerous lines, let me tell you, but this is one of my favorites. So this is a woman, again, like I'm watching Beth, and she has a lot of energy of seriously. Again, in the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die. Mm-hmm. This is another line. You are the trailer park. I am the tornado. Fucking perfect. And when you watch this woman deliver it, there was no question to me that yes, I am the trailer park and you are the tornado and I need to be nervous. Yeah. It's beautifully done.
If we're going on Yellowstone, there's one line that I use to Amanda all the time. Mm-hmm. I do not have the energy for you today.
I do not have the energy for you today, woman.
Yes. Oh,
ripping
that actor? Yeah, I don't know. Have either one of you seen Pitch Black?
Of course.
Okay. The quote unquote bad guy in there, the marshal, that's him as Rip. Rip is that's him.
Oh my gosh, it is. It is.
He
It's
just
him.
dyed his hair
So-
for the
yes,
role.
he's all young
And put on a couple extra pounds. But yeah, he
oh my goodness,
he
so
dyed his
cool.
hair because the as Beth's hair color is very similar to his natural
So
hair
they
color.
wanted him to be darker.
Exactly. So
Totally
so
makes
he
sense.
so he put on a couple extra pounds.
The minute
And
you
he dyed
said
his
that,
hair,
now I
so-
can see him in pitch black moving through and like picking up the guns and be
Yep.
like, nope, we need to drop it. Like the whole
Yeah.
thing. Fantastic. All right. This is another. So this line I heard the first time and literally sucked in my breath as I was listening to it because it was so beautifully done. So this comes from the TV show Arcane. Second season, it's on Netflix. Fan-freaking-tastic. Absolutely
Such a
beautiful.
great
So,
fucking show. If you haven't
and
watched
there
it,
are
watch it.
lines for days in the show, but there is something perfect. And I have never heard a villain speak so clearly about
yeah,
the
very good.
absence of their soul as Maddie is talking to Caitlin. And she's about to execute this woman who turns out she is betrayed.
Yep.
She has shared
Yep.
her bed
Mhm.
and perfectly, completely deadpanned. I did enjoy your warmth. Right as she goes to pull the trigger and assassinate her.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard someone
Yeah.
be as stone cold as I'm about to shoot you and you have to die for my cause, but I did enjoy your warmth. Beautifully done
If you
and
haven't
like
watched the show,
literally caught
highly
me
recommend
in the chest.
Yeah.
And my final line, my final favorite that I'm going to throw out, and then I'm going to tip back to you guys because I want to hear what you have to bring me out. And this is going to go all the way back is they all float down here. And that's going to be Pennywise from It.
Oh.
Because from the book it hit, from the movie it hit, and from the miniseries it hit. I remember being 12 or 13. I remember being 12 or 13, and it is Tim Curry that I hear in my head.
Oh, yeah,
Or anyone
yeah.
else. I remember seeing that line and thinking, no, that's not okay. And then hearing him, they all float down here and just being like, nope, nope,
Nope,
nope,
nope,
nope.
nope,
And
nope,
to
nope,
this
nope.
day, it does the same thing to me. So those are the lines like that just instantly, they capture something in me every time. There's something about him doing that. They all float down here where I go, well, not me, I'm out. I'm out.
Yep. Yeah.
Catches
We're
me
not.
every
We're not
time.
doing that. Nope.
All right, guys, bring me home. What's
All
the
right.
last of your list? What do you got for me?
Do you want to hit her with the line?
Oh yeah. I will. I'm like,
What she got?
get to the chopper.
Get to the Perfect. Screaming.
The screaming, the way you deliver it every time is perfect.
That's good. It's the whole thing.
Like he gets into it, and I love it.
And then,
I know we have the head going.
of course, it goes that same scene, but
Mhm.
it goes where was it? I'm sorry. If it can bleed, we can kill it. Because they shot all those guns, and they find out it can bleed. Well, they can
We
kill
kill
it.
it.
And you kill it.
We got that.
Yeah.
Again, life advice. I don't
Oh.
care if you almost here.
Oh.
If it bleeds, we
If it
can
can bleed, we can kill
we
it.
can kill it.
So
Anything for me, Joe?
I got like a couple more. I mean, growing up, I love Star Wars, so I got a bunch of them.
Because Star Wars is the one I can do.
I'll play off the one that you have if you know the one I'm talking about.
Well, this one's from Han Solo, and
Okay.
it says, "Laugh it up, fuzzball."
That
That was
right.
one of my
Laugh it up,
favorite
Chewie.
lines. Another one was when they're flying through the asteroid field, and then C-3PO starts giving him the odds, and he just looks at him and goes, "Never tell me the odds."
Tell me the
That
odds.
one's a classic.
Fantastic.
That is
line.
classic. That
And
is.
I'll let you deliver this line. It was from Admiral Akbar. I feel like it's a
It's a trap!
there it is.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
We won't last long as those Star Destroyers.
And then this one's a two-word line, but it's from Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love that.
General Kenobi.
Very nice.
I love it when I see skits of like kids or young guys like in like Walmart's or whatever. It's like, and like the one like, "Hello there," and then you have this two friends like, it's like, like whirling their own legs like, "General Kenobi." I'm like, oh my god, it's so great.
Catches it every time.
It's great. It's great.
Then another one I got was Planet of the Apes. Get your paws off me.
Oh,
damn
damn.
dirty.
classic Trilogy
Paws
Press.
off me, you damn dirty apes.
And
Perfect.
what else do I got?
Oh, I gotta say this one.
Go for it.
It's from Starship Troopers, okay, and it's said by Lieutenant Razak, played by the great Michael Ironsides. And he says, "If you see a bug hole, nuke it." It's like he says it, and then when he says nuke it, it's like a blank stare over his face. It's like he means it, but he also does it at the same time. He's like, nuke it. It's like, because, all right, the original, if anyone doesn't know, in the book, Starship Troopers, they had these things called mobile suits, or mobile armors, okay? Marauder suits, as they call them. These guys throw around nukes like they throw around candy in real life. That's how in the book, that's how they do it. So, but in the movie, they have these tactical nukes they throw on their launchers, and they launch them into the bug holes, and they essentially destroy the target. And that's what happens in the scene. And they see bug hole and they nuke it, and it's lovely. I love it. I love it.
All right, so back to Airplane. I love Lloyd Bridges so much. Like, he is fantastic in that movie, but I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Exactly. Every time, and then you just see with the hair, and we're just all stuck up. I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. That entire movie.
It's fantastic.
Oh,
beautifully done.
And then the last one I have that it's a line from I think it's more of like a, I don't know, like a proverb or something, but they did it in Kung Fu Panda.
Ooh.
And it's Oogway saying,
"Oh, this is perfect."
Yeah. Where am I? Lost my place.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday is a mystery.
Yeah. Yesterday is history.
And tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
That is like the perfect line.
I love that old turtle.
Right?
It's great. It's great.
And like that's it. Like I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you can carry that around all the time. Yesterday is history.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it a present.
Yeah.
Perfect. Beautiful. Oh my God. This was fantastic. We went to some amazing places. We heard some amazing lines. Some of these that I had not heard, and some that I haven't thought about for years. This was absolutely delightful. Okay, so let us know what your favorite lines are. Let us know the things that you absolutely love. Let us know the things that you would love to talk about in the future. Believe you me, we will be back with these lines again in the future because
part two.
We could not run out of these if we had to end. And I was going to say, Andrew, since you are a special guest, if you have one more line that you want to throw us out on, one more thing that you want to take us home,
just give me
what would it be?
Split second here.
All right, you go ahead and bust it through because, like, again, there's nothing but fantastic writing going on in this episode.
We definitely want your comments and ideas.
Please be sending us your favorites in your movies. And exactly, when we get to part 2 and 3 and 4, we want to hear about them.
Okay.
All right.
Hit us, big guy.
All right. You're one ugly motherfucker. Said by Dutch in Predator again.
And that is going to take us home today. So I am Lauren.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Andrew.
And this was our episode of Pop Culture Ponderers where we went through our favorite movie lines. Thank you guys so much for taking your time and listening. We cannot wait to talk to you guys again, and have a great week.